إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. أما بعد، فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله، وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم، وشر الأمور محدثاتها، وكل محدثة بدعة، وكل بدعة ضلالة، وكل ضلالة في النار. يقول الله تعالى: يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء، واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام، إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم، ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. ثم أما بعد، نقف مع آيات من سورة سبأ بعد منتصف السورة، بعد أن ذكر الله عز وجل ما حدث لأهل سبأ. يقول ربنا: وقال الذين كفروا لن نؤمن بهذا القرآن ولا بالذي بين يديه ولو ترى إذ الظالمون موقوفون عند ربهم يرجع بعضهم إلى بعض القول يقول الذين استضعفوا للذين استكبروا لولا أنتم لكنا مؤمنين. فكثير من الذين استكبروا يرفضون كلام الله، يرفضون القرآن ويرفضون ما قبله، يريدون أن يتبعوا ما وجدوا عليهم آباءهم، وإذا قيل لهم اتبعوا ما أنزل الله قالوا بل نتبع ما وجدنا عليه آباءنا. يريدون أن يتبعوا عاداتهم، يريدون أن يتبعوا شهواتهم، فيهم استكبار، فيهم رفض لأوامر الله. ولكن تأتي لحظة الحق حين يقف أمام رب العالمين يوم الحساب، فيبدأوا بالتلاوم. المستضعفون يلومون المتكبرين، والمتكبرين يلومون المستضعفين، ولكن في هذه اللحظة لا تنفع ندامة ولا ينفع نوم. فهذا الأمر جاء في هذه الدنيا حتى يتعظ الإنسان، حتى يقرأ القرآن، يتدبره، يفهمه، ولا يكون كما قال رسولنا: وقال الرسول يا رب إن قوم اتخذوا هذا القرآن مهجورا. فالعياذ بالله أن نكون منهم. We read few ayat in Surah Saba. In it, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talking about the non-believers. How they say, we're not going to believe in this revelation, this Quran, or anything before it. Why? Because they want to live life the way they want it to be, the way they've seen their parents and grandparents living it. They didn't want restrictions. Whatever they think is right, they're going to do it. They don't care about true right and wrong coming from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And there will come a point they will regret that choice. And that point is going to be the minute of death and the minute of resurrection and accounting. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will hold them accountable for what they've done. And they start blaming one another. The arrogance, the leaders, they have a reason not to follow because they have power. They oppress people, they stole, they lied, they killed. They want to hold to that power. But they fool the weak, the followers. The one listen to them, listen to their lies, listen to their fabrication, follow them into killing and oppressing others, will be their helpers. On the day of judgment, they say, oh, we followed you. Could you help us? He said, no, we couldn't. The Quran, the revelation was sent from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as a guidance to mankind, to show them what is right, what is wrong. You leave it to people. Every nation have their own idea about right and wrong. You ask the atheist why they're not believers. They say, have you seen the killing in the name of religion in the name of God. See how many people in the name of God have killed. And they lie. They know that the most killers, they killed just because they killed. Genghis Khan didn't have any religion that he was spreading. He killed 1/5 of humanity of his time. Stalin, he was not promoting any religion, just he was a communist who wanted power, and he killed millions of people. The same thing Hitler has done, all the tyrants have done. They've done it because they want power. Napoleon, when he went with his wars and he killed hundreds of thousands, maybe millions because of his wars, not in the name of the religion, not in the name of God. They want power. The powerful, the ones who are greedy, will make any excuse to hold into power. It's not a fault of religion. It's the fault of the people. If they don't have religion to exploit, they're going to exploit nationalism, racism. They'll find a reason. We're better, we're stronger. There are enemies. We need to suppress them. We need to get rid of them, and so on. They always find an excuse. It's not going to help them. They can fool their followers in this life. In the hereafter, they're going to be blameworthy and their followers. The weak ones will say to the arrogant ones, if it wasn't for you, who would have been believers? The people of power, the people of wealth, a lot of times they feel they don't need belief because they're already living a happy life in this life. What should they believe? The poor and the oppressed always have hope. Say, yes, we might have missed the chance in this life. I might be not healthy, I might not be not wealthy, I might be oppressed and so on, but I'm going to be a good person. Why? Because there's a hereafter, looking for it. The arrogant, the wealthy, the people living in luxury, they're already enjoying it. A lot of them say, why should we believe? There's nothing there. Just live our life and we die. And that's it. There's nothing beyond it because they enjoyed everything. A person of sound mind, we know that this is a test. Wealth, power, and status is a test as much as being sick, weak, and poor, and so on. It's all a test. It's about what you do in this life. You will be collecting positive points or negative points. You're going to do good or you're going to do sins. Day of judgment, it's going to be balanced in the scale. Those who have faith, the good deeds will stick, will be heavy, and will outweigh the bad they've done. They go to heaven. Those who have no faith, the good deeds will not weigh anything. Those who had faith but they were weak, they collected a lot of sins, Allah might forgive them, might accept intercession, or they might end up being punished for a certain period of time, but the faith at the end will save them from eternal punishment. So people don't understand that. They want here and immediate. If I'm a believer, I shouldn't get sick, I shouldn't get poor, nobody should attack me, nobody should oppress me, no disaster happen to me. That's not how it works. It's a test, ongoing test. Allah has created this life as a test. Life and death is a test. Poverty and wealth is a test. Health and sickness is a test. All of it coming for a test from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وقال الذين استكبروا للذين استضعفوا أنحن صددناكم عن الهدى بعد إذ جاءكم بل كنتم مجرمين. تبرأ هؤلاء المتكبرين. قال أنتم الذين كنتم مجرمين. طريق الإيمان موجود. هم يكذبوا. حاولوا جهد استطاعتهم أن يصدوا الناس عن سبيل الله. هددوهم وخوفوهم وأقنعوهم وكذبوا عليهم. لكن مسؤولية المتبع تبقى عليه. ألم تكن أرض الله واسعة فتهاجروا فيها. إذا لا يتبرأ الإنسان من سوء عمله أن غيره قد خدعه أو كذب عليه سواء كان شياطين الإنس أو الجن. وقال الذين استضعفوا للذين استكبروا المكر الليل والنهار إذ تأمروننا أن نكفر بالله ونجعل له أندادا وأسروا الندامة لما رأوا العذاب وجعلنا الأغلال في أعناق الذين كفروا هل تجزون إلا ما كنتم تعملون. المتكبر والمستضعف أمره لله عز وجل ما يمنعه من الإيمان من شيء. لما ضرب الله مثلا للذين آمنوا ضرب مثلا امرأة فرعون وضرب مثلا مريم. امرأة فرعون كان عند أكبر طاغية ادعوا أنه إله، لكن هذا لم يردعها أن تؤمن بالله عز وجل. فإذا كل إنسان مسؤول عن عمله ويقف أمام رب العالمين وكلهم آتيه يوم القيامة فردا. And then at the day of judgment, the weak ones will say to the arrogant ones, you are the ones who stood between us and hidayah, about guidance. If it wasn't for you, we would have been believers. But that argument is going to be of no weight. At the day of judgment, both of them, those who didn't believe in Allah, who have done wrong, they'll be punished in hellfire. They'll be chained to their necks, up to their necks in the chains and cuffs. And they will be rewarded for the results of their actions. A person is still responsible for his choice. And Allah has given an example of the people of Jannah. He gave an example of the wife of Pharaoh. Pharaoh, he was like the most tyrant leader ever. He declared himself God. People wouldn't dare to say anything to him. His wife believed in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah has saved her from his power and strength, and she's going to be in the people of Jannah. So it doesn't matter where you are. You're living at times Pharaoh. We live in times of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, times of the Sahaba. Your belief, your words, your actions are the one going to save you or not. Each one of us will stand in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. We answer for our own deeds. وَلَا تَزِرُ وَازِرَةٌ وِزْرَ أُخْرَى كُلُّ إِنسَانٍ مَسْئُولٌ عَنْ مَا يُؤْمِنُ بِهِ عَمَّا يَقُولُ وَعَمَّا يَعْمَلُ. So nobody can take blame for another person. Nobody is responsible for the sin of another person. We are responsible for our own actions, our own sins, and all good deeds or bad deeds. We have hope from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that will keep us on strong faith and that He will guide us through the light of knowledge and iman to accept the truth, to practice what is right, and He will accept these deeds from us, and then we'll gain His mercy. So we'll be among the successful ones, the lucky ones that will go to Jannah. This is our hope. This is what we live for. Regardless the times, regardless the situation, this is the aim. This is what we created for, to worship Allah. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make this our purpose in life and to guide us, to give it the strength to do the right thing, and will be resurrected among the pious one. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله العظيم لي ولكم. أحمد الله حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه كما يليق بجلال وجهه وعظيم سلطانه. أصلي وأسلم على عبده ورسوله محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن اتبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. وما أرسلنا في قرية من نذير إلا قال مترفوها إنا بما أرسلتم به كافرون وقالوا نحن أكثر أموالا وأولادا وما نحن بمعذبين قل إن ربي يبسط الرزق لمن يشاء ويقدر ولكن أكثر الناس لا يعلمون وما أموالكم ولا أولادكم بالتي تقربكم عندنا زلفى إلا من آمن وعمل صالحا فأولئك لهم جزاء الضعف بما عملوا وهم في الغرفات آمنون. Every time a messenger is sent to a group of people, the ones with wealth and power, you say we don't believe in what you have. We have more supporters, more family, more children, more wealth, and we will never go be punished. That is, we are blessed in this life. If there is hereafter, we're going to be blessed in the hereafter. I'll tell them, Allah is the one who provides. He gives wealth or not. He will give, He will expand it, or will make it less available to others. It's all part of the wisdom of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's not like because He likes certain people, He'll give them more, and He hates certain people, give them less. It's all about the test. Most people don't know that. They think, oh, because I'm living, whether it's a country, a tribe, a group of people I belong to, they're strong, they're powerful, they can do whatever they want. They can bomb, they can kill, they can maim, they can steal, they can lie, and nobody can stand with them. That means they're right and God with them. No. They're being tested by Allah. We see it nowadays. We see countries that have the power, nobody's standing from them, and they're killing people right and left. Nobody's stopping them. Not because Allah favored them. He's testing them, He's testing others through them. The same way Allah has tested humankind through shaitan. Who's going to follow shaitan? Who's going to follow the truth? The same thing. This test is ongoing. Wealth and supporters and children is not a sign of that Allah is happy with you or not. It doesn't get you any closer to Allah. Except for those who have belief and good faith. So whatever Allah gives them, they use it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it becomes positive for them. خير المال الصالح للعبد الصالح. الإنسان الذي يؤتيه الله القوة والمال، يؤتيه العلم، يؤتيه شيء يفضله على العالمين، إذا استعمله في مرضاة الله عز وجل كان له هذا نعمة. أما من استعمل نعم الله فيما يسخط الله عز وجل فكانت عليه نقمة، كان محاسبا عليها. Things Allah provide for people, whether it's physical strength, financial strength, knowledge, wisdom, power, and so on. It's all a test. For those who have believed, these kind of powers are used in positive way. They add more and more to the good deed. One would love to have wealth. So he will be self-sufficient, he will help his family, and will help his extended family, his neighbors, his communities, and help people in general. He'll be a charitable person. Most of us would like that. We want extra to be able to do that. We long to be physically strong, that we help those who are weak and they need physical strength. We'd like to have knowledge. We need to be able to tell people how to help them around. We'd like to have some connections that we help people stop the oppressors from oppressing and so on. It would be nice to have it. So if you're tested and Allah bless you with that, you use the blessing for what pleases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But unfortunately, a lot of people, when they get this blessing, physical strength, financial strength, wisdom, knowledge, power, and so on, they abuse it. They only think about themselves, how to maintain it, how to increase it. They get a valley full of gold, they want 2 valleys full of gold. They get $1 billion, they want 2 billion. They have 2 billion, they want 100 billion. They have 100 billion, they want 1 trillion. They never stop. It's greed. A person could be reaching age 80 and he's still lying and stealing and cheating and want more. You're about to die. Why are you still doing that? So people still, that greed never ends. The only time that greed stops, the eyes of mankind will stop looking at what others have when the eyes are filled with dust. The person is dead under the grave. That's the only time they stop having greed. It's human nature. But the ones who have control, وَنَهَى النَّفْسَ عَنِ الْهَوَى فَإِنَّ الْجَنَّةَ هِيَ الْمَأْوَى. Those who control their desires for the sake of Allah, their reward is Jannah. So those who want immediate gratification here and now, they might be able to get it. There are ways to do it, legal and illegal. They might be able to do it. But there's nothing beyond. Those who restrain themselves only get things that are legal in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They'll be rewarded with happy life here, and they will be rewarded with the eternal reward in the hereafter. Eternal forever. فَأُولَٰئِكَ لَهُمْ جَزَاءُ الضِّعْفِ بِمَا عَمِلُوا. ليس ضعف واحد، أضعافا مضاعفة بالكمية والنوعية والمدة. لما يدخل الإنسان الجنة فيها ما لا عين رأت ولا أذن سمعت ولا خطر على بال بشر. لا موت فيها، يبقى الإنسان فيها حيا يتنعم، ليس فيها صخب ولا نصب، ليس فيها، لا يسمع فيها إلا سلاما، لا يسمع فيها إلا الكلام الطيب، لا يرى فيها إلا الطيبين، الغل ينزع من قلوب المؤمنين، كل ما فيها نعيم. نسأل الله عز وجل أن يجعلنا من أصحاب الجنة. The reward that comes for Allah for that self-restraint in this life is rewarded multiples beyond imagination. It's not like you do good deeds for 50 years, 100 years, you'll be rewarded good deeds for 200 years, or 200 years, or 1,000 years. It's for eternity, forever. And beyond what you've done in this life. The level between one level in Jannah to the next level of Jannah is better than everything on this earth. Just one step. Just one step. The word you say, La ilaha illallah, la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Words you utter, they're very simple. That will build you a house, this one will build you a tree, and so on. The night prayer that you do, the fasting. One day you fast for the sake of Allah, you farther away from hellfire as long as it takes a rider to ride 70 years. That's almost the distance between Earth and the moon. That's for fasting one day. So these multiples coming from Allah subhanahu. This is what we're looking forward. So you never forget the big goal. Yes, we're living in this life. We have needs, we have fears, and there are things we're afraid of, things that we want. Always don't forget the big goal. Big goal, we're going back home to Jannah. There are things that Allah wants us to do here, things we want to restrain ourselves from doing. We need to improve our niyyah, that our intention is pure to Allah subhanahu. We want to please Allah, we want to follow as much as we can. We follow it with knowledge, knowing what Allah wants from us, how we can tell right from wrong in every situation we do, matters of deen or matters of dunya, how we handle our wudu, our prayer, our fasting, our zakah, and then how we handle our families, how we handle our neighbors, how we handle our co-workers, our friends, even our enemies. All do it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, knowing that these tests will never end. The faith that we have in Quran is not, oh, we have a book, came from Allah. Oh, yes, I believe this is the word of Allah. You need to read it. أفلا يتدبرون القرآن هذا القرآن أوحاه رب العالمين حتى يتدبره الناس يؤمنوا به ويعملوا به. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted us to comprehend Quran. Not only listening to it, understand it, believe in it, and practice it. The kuffar, they don't want to bother with it. They say, just leave faith alone. There's nothing beyond this life. The atheists will want just things here and now. We have hope for higher things. And that's what keeps us going. That's why we hope one day we'll be in the company of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We'd like to see Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, Ali. We'd like to see the Tabi'een. We'd like to see Tabi'een. We'd like to see the A'immah. We'd like to see Abu Hanifa, Imam al-Shafi'i, Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, Imam Malik. I want to see all these good, pious people. This is our hope. These are the kind of people we like to keep company of in Jannah with our families, enjoying it. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide us to the truth, to fill our hearts with the light, to give us strength to stay on the straight path, and to keep us away from wrongdoing. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us humble, that we return to Him, we admit our mistakes, ask Him for forgiveness. He's the most forgiving. We ask Him to forgive us for the mistakes that we commit day and night. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us support and strength in this life, to support our Muslim brothers that have been oppressed all over the world. He's the one who can give them support. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to remove the harm from the way of all the believers, to make life easy for them, to cure their sick, and to give comfort for those who have fear, those who have been kicked out of their houses, the sick, the wounded. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive all the believers, those who are alive and those who are dead. اللهم اغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات المسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء منهم والأموات. اللهم يا ناصر المستضعفين انصر عبادك المستضعفين في كل مكان. اللهم آمن خائفهم وأطعم جائعهم. اللهم داوي مرضاهم وجرحاهم. اللهم وارحم موتاهم وشهداءهم. اللهم عليك بأعداء الإسلام والمسلمين فإنهم لا يعجزونك. اللهم اقسم لنا من خشيتك ما تحول به بيننا وبين معاصيك، ومن طاعتك ما تبلغنا به جنتك، ومن اليقين ما تهون به علينا مصائب الدنيا. ومتعنا اللهم بأسماعنا وأبصارنا وقواتنا ما أحييتنا، واجعله الوارث منا، واجعل بأسنا على من ظلمنا، وانصرنا على من عادانا، ولا تجعل الدنيا أكبر همنا ولا مبلغ علمنا ولا إلى النار مصيرنا. اللهم لا تجعل فتنتنا في ديننا. اللهم انصر الإسلام والمسلمين. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم، وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت